Okay, so today we will be doing exponents. And exponents, who knows what exponents are? Exponents is when you multiply something by itself. So let's see some easy examples before we get to exactly what exponents are. Let's start with the basics. 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2?
Mr. Hugo, thank you so much.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry that I was stuck in traffic, but here I am. Thank you so much, Mr. Hugo. Thank you so much for helping out. Thank you so much for doing the rules. I'm going to start sharing my screen. Mr. Hugo, thank you very, very much for helping me out. Thank you very much to everybody. I can see everybody is putting answers in already, so that's great. Well done, everybody. All right, Mr. Hugo, are we all good? Can we see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. My computer is doing funny things, so if you just excuse me, I'd like to just exit and come in quickly.
No problem, Mr. Hugo. Right, everybody, thank you so much. I'm seeing a lot of words. Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry. I hope you've had a really good Easter weekend. Clearly, my computer's had a really good Easter weekend, and so has Mr. Hugo's, because they were doing some strange things today, but here we are. So let's get going. So, like Mr. Hugo was saying, we're going to start right at the basics of exponents today, and we're going to go with 2 times 2, with a lot of what you were saying, you guys, was 4. So well done. So 2 times 2, I'm going to go here. Let's go. Let's grab a pen. Because it's a nice Easter weekend, let's do a different color pen today, because, I don't know, that color is so boring. Let's go with a nice, I don't know, purple today, if everyone's good with that. All right, so 2 times 2, exactly. 2 times 2 is 4. Hi, everybody. Sorry, hi, everybody. Some people are saying they can't see the screen, so I'm definitely sharing the screen. I'm hoping other people can see my screen. And Michelet, I see you can't see my screen. Mr. Hugo did say he definitely could see my screen, so I'm going to go with that. Everybody else can. Tara Jane saying that she can't. Okay. Oh, she can now. Okay, so we can see the screen. Okay, cool. All right, so 2 times 2 is 4. All right, awesome. 3 times 3, we know that's nice basic maths. We've done that before, everybody. 3 times 3, we know 3 times 3 is definitely 9. And we're wanting to put some equal signs in here, so let's do that as well. Okay, 4 times 4, everybody knows 4 times 4 is 16. And I'm sure you guys have gone way ahead of me, because, yeah, you're already smart. So 5 times 5 is 25. And 6 times 6 is 36. I'm not even testing you here today. So we all know that those are really nice and easy. Well done, everybody. We're all good. All right. Another way that we can do this, we can have a look at doing this, is we can look at a table in the following way. So another nice way to have a look at looking at 8 times 8 or 2 times 2 is we can say something like 2 times 2, and 2 times 2 is the same thing as saying, well, 2 times 2 is 2, and then we can put on the top here to the power of 2. And I'm sure that maybe last term, if you were here in Watobe last term, you would have seen with your previous teacher that you did some exponents, okay? I see that some people are saying that they can't see the screen. Some people are saying that they can't hear me. Mr. Hugo will help you out with that, I'm sure. I'm hoping, Mr. Hugo, is it possible? Can you just double check with me, Mr. Hugo? Can you see my screen? It does definitely say that I'm sharing my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen. I have just sorted out the student that can't hear, and I'm just trying to see why this other student can't see your screen.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Hugo. Thank you very much. All right, so I'm going to leave Mr. Hugo to sort you guys out with your technical issues. I promise he will get to you all. There are quite a few of you, but he will try to get to all of you, I promise. Okay. All right, so let's carry on. So another way to say 2 times 2 in maths is to say 2, and at the top, we put this little, what we call to the power of 2. Okay. So instead of saying 2 times 2, we can say 2 to the power of 2. And 2 to the power of 2 is the same thing as saying 2 squared, right? And we all know, like we saw before, and we know from previously, that 2 squared is equal to, oh, there we go. 2 squared is equal to 4. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work backwards a little bit. All right. So we're going to take 25. Okay. We know that 25 is the same thing as saying what? Well, if I go all the way back to the beginning, earlier on, we knew that 25 was the same thing as saying, in number 4, we saw 25 was the same thing as saying 5 times 5. So sometimes I like to cheat a little bit. I'm not really cheating, let's be honest. Okay. And I like to go use questions that I've used before in the past to answer questions that I see later on. So I know that 25 is the same thing as saying 5 times 5. Okay. Right. And so 5 times 5 is going to be 5 to the power of 2. And that's going to be the same thing as saying 5 squared. Right, I'm going to do one more with you guys, and then I'm going to see if I've got any questions, okay? It's a little bit early on in the lesson, but just to check. I do see one hand raised, but we're just checking quickly. Okay, so let's take 100. We already saw that 100, and they gave me some other answers here. They said 100 was 10 squared, okay? And so if it's 10 squared, that's the same thing as saying 10 to the power of 2. And another way to write that is by saying 10 times 10. So I'm just going to move my screen along here. Again, it's your choice whether you want to write this whole table out, like a nice little table for yourself, if you've got a ruler and you want to do it that way, or if you just want to write it as numbers underneath each other. I'm happier with either of those, but give those ones a try, okay? I'm going to move it down a little bit because there are some underneath that for you to try as well. And in the meantime, I'm going to answer, there's 2 questions there. I'm just going to see who needs some help. So Precious, I see that your hand is up. It might have been for a technical issue, I think, earlier on, but I just want to double check. Precious, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
No, you all good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to put this hand down. There we go. All right, is there anybody else who might have any questions? Are we all good? Okay, I'm going to give you a few seconds just to have a few seconds more just to have a look at that. I'll be right back.
Okay, everybody, while you are taking a second and looking at that, please just make sure, give me a thumbs up in the chat that you can see the screen and you can hear me and the teacher, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hugo. Right, I'm back. So Setu, I see your hand is up. Can I answer a question for you? So Setu? Setu, yeah?
For technical issues, I couldn't log in.
So Setu, I think if you just put your question inside the chat, Mr. Hugo will help you there, okay? All right, if it's a technical issue. Thanks, Asetu. All right. Simanyene?
Yes, it's Simani.
Thank you, Simanya, for pronouncing that correctly for me. Thank you. How can I help?
I pressed the button with mistake.
Okay, no problem. All right, maybe we'll need some help a bit later on. Thank you. All right, let's carry on, everybody. So I'm hoping that you've managed to finish all of these up. You'll see they're pretty easy. I'm sure that probably you probably flew through these. So let's fill them in quickly. So this one is going to give me 12 squared, and then we'll say 12 squared, and this 12 times 12 is 144. All right, here we're going to have 4 times 4. Okay, this is going to give me 4 squared. All right, and 4 squared is 16. Here we're going to have 8 to the power of 2. We're going to say 8 squared, and 8 times 8 is 64. So underneath here, what I did was I put another table here for you guys, and this was just a nice challenge. It's one in case you want to practice some more. If you want me to go back to it later and you didn't manage to get all the questions down, you're more than welcome to ask me at the end and I'll put it up again. But you'll see it really is just exactly the same as what we've been doing. And it's just a nice way to practice your squared numbers. All right, it's a nice way. Put a table up for yourself, give yourself a little bit of a challenge and practice those over and over again. Okay, so let's move on a little bit. Let's see how else they can ask us these kinds of questions. Right. Another way they can say to us is they'll say, what number squared is 25? So who can tell me in the chat what number squared is 25? Nice. I see Mark and Tristina. I'm not sure if that is your name there, but Mark and Tristina, Shashika, Sasipo, great guys, 5, fantastic. Okay, so they can ask us what number squared is something, great guys. So number 2, what number squared is 100? It's 10. Fantastic. What number squared is 64? I see I'm getting lots of answers now. Fantastic. Thank you everybody for participating. I'm loving it. I see Matthew. Thank you, Matthew, for letting me know what your name was. So what number squared is 64, guys? Yes, great. 8. That's great. Thank you. 8 times 8 does give me 64. Great. And what number squared is 36? Everybody, what number squared is 36? Let's have a look on the screens. Great. I'm seeing in the answers. 6. Fantastic. So yes, 6 times 6 does give me 36. Great. Well done. All right. Okay. So that really takes us through the basics of square numbers. No tricks about it. Really nice and easy. That takes us through the first lesson for just squares. Let's have a look now at our next little section for today. Okay. Which is going to be cube numbers. All right. So the first thing I want you guys to have a look at very quickly, I'm going to give you a few seconds. You're not going to put the answers in the chat, please. So we're not putting the answers in the chat. I want you to have a look at, write the answers down on your piece of paper. Okay. And then I'm going to call on you in the chat. Okay. So I'm going to call your names out. All right. So there are, oh, the numbers went off a little bit here, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. Okay. So go and answer those 5 for me. Go and have a look. All right, I'm going to give you a few seconds. Please don't put the answers in the chat. All right, so you're going to go and answer them for me. And while people are answering those, I'm just going to check in again if there's any questions regarding maths, so squares inside with anybody in the class. So you're not sure about a square number, how you get a square number, if anyone has a question related to maths. We're all good for now. Great. Okay. All right. I'm seeing a hand up. Mpile, have you got the answers for me or have you got a maths question for me?
Ma'am,
Mpile?
I've got a question.
Sure. What's up, Mpile?
Ma'am, should we like write down the answers for them or write down we write down two and then a third over there or write down the answer?
If it was me, I would write the question down first and then put the answer, but it's up to you, whichever way you want to do it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, Matthew, do you have the answers for me or did you have a question? I did see your hand up went up next. So Matthew, do you have the answers for me or do you have a question?
Ma'am, I have the answers.
You have the answers. Matthew, could you turn your camera on for us so we could see you? Fantastic. Hi, Matthew. Good to see you. Okay, everybody, I'm seeing some very sad faces there. I'm seeing Nosipo, who I think also had the answer, and Tara Jane, who also had the answers, and now she's turned off her camera, so I can't see her today. Okay, Matthew, let's go. What were the answers?
For number 1 is 8.
8. Great, Matthew. So 2 times 2 times 2 gave us 8. Fantastic. All right. Number 2, Matthew, what did you get? 3 times 3 times 3?
27.
Great, 27. Nice. All right, Matthew, number 3.
I got 64.
Perfect. Fantastic answer. 64. Number 4, 5 times 5 times 5?
125.
125. That's great. And for the last one, number 5?
I got 216.
That is awesome. 216. Well done, Matthew. Matthew, would you like to walk us through any of the harder ones? Like maybe, I think number 3 is okay because that's 64. That's not too bad. But could you possibly walk us through how you got 6 times 6 times 6? How did you get that one? Do you just know that one off by heart? Or did you use
No,
any
I said 6 times 6, which I got 36, and then I times 36 by 6.
Fantastic, Matthew. So I like your style there. All right. So Matthew said 6 times 6 gave him 36. I like it. Okay. Now, if you're a little bit confused at this stage, so 6 times 6 gave me 36. Now, what do I need to do? I still need to times it by another 6. Hey? So what can I do now? I can use our favorite mathematical thing that a lot of us love to use. We can use columns. Hey? All right. So now I can say 36 times by the last 6 that I need to use because it's 3 6s. 6 times 6 times 6. So 36 times by that last 6. So 6 times 6 gives me 36. I put my 6 and I carry my 3. 6 times 3 gives me 18. 18 plus the 3 gives me 21. And so Matthew got the answer of 216. All right, so we go back to those mathematics skills that we learned right at the beginning of the term, first term, right? Okay, I see I've still got a hand up. Nosipo, have you got a question for me? Nosipo, Dlamini, have you got a question for me? What's up?
Yes. Ma'am, I was asking, should we, you see the 2 times 2 times 2, should we write it out to the power or?
So you could, Nosipo.
I didn't write the answer.
So you did this instead. You said 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 to the power of 3, like that.
Yes, ma'am.
That's fine as well. No problem if you wrote it like that, because that's where we're going next. So, okay, no probs.
And ma'am, can I please ask, how do you change my name? Like, my name is Lizzie, so like, I want to change it.
I think maybe put it inside the chat and Mr. Hugo can try and help you there. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nasipa. Thank you. All right, Lebogang, I see you have a question for me. All right, I do see someone has left their mic on, Mr. Hugo. I'm not sure if you can mute that person, but in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down to my next section, and then I'm going to answer that question for the one person that's got their hand up. So as you'll see, what have I got coming up next? I've got the exact same table that we saw before. So again, a really good way to test the way that you want to test your cubes and to test your numbers and to make sure you're practicing all the time is to put it into one of these tables, guys. So I'm going to do 2 with you, and then I'm going to let you do them by yourself while I answer some questions. So let's have a look. So I've got 2 times 2 times 2. And as we saw previously, some of you asked and then some of you did it. Instead of saying 2 times 2 times 2, right, you said it's the same thing as saying 2 to the power of 3. Okay. And 2 to the power of 3 is the same as saying 2 cubed. And 2 cubed is the same thing as saying 8. All right. Again, I like to work smart. So 125, I've seen that before. 125 was the same thing as saying 5 times 5 times 5. So I know that 5 times 5 times 5 was the same thing as saying 5 to the power of 3, which is the same thing as saying 5 cubed. Okay, I'm going to move the screen along a little bit for you so you can have a look. And I'm going to move it up so you can see the ones underneath while you practice a little bit. And I'm going to answer the 2 people that have their hands up quickly. So I'm going to start with Kolofelo. Kolofelo, have you got a question for me?
Ma'am, I just wanted to ask that, ma'am, on 2 times 2 times 2, is it fine if you root 3 to the power of 2?
So unfortunately, Kolofelo, 2 to the power of 3, I'm just going to move it down quickly.
Okay, yes,
2
ma'am.
to the power of 3 is a very different answer. So 2 to the power of 3 is the same thing as saying 8, hey?
Yes,
If
ma'am.
you say 3 to the, what did you say? 3 to the power of 2, like that.
Yes, ma'am.
So 3 to
Like
the
you
power
changed
of
the numbers.
that's the same thing as saying
Like,
9.
ma'am,
Hey?
you just, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Ma'am, I was just saying that, like, ma'am, angry 2 to the power of 3, ma'am. You changed the
Oh.
number to see 3 to the power of 2.
But can you see that it's a different answer if you say 3 to the power of 2?
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Because 2 to the power of 3 gives you 8, hey? But 3
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
power of 2, what's that equal to? That one's equal to 9,
9.
hey? So it's
9,
a
yeah,
very
9.
different 9. Okay, so it's not the same.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Kolofelo,
Thank
do
you,
you know why?
ma'am.
Makes sense.
Yes, ma'am. Makes sense.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Good. Well done. Akwande, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am, I have a question.
Yes. How can I help?
Ma'am, I do not understand how do you get the square number answer?
How do you get the square number answer? So do you want to give me an example?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So give me an example. Which one do you want? Which one? Give me an example of one.
Like the one ma'am we did ma'am earlier, ma'am, the 10
Yeah.
times 10.
10 times 10. You're not sure how to get that answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Akwande, if I say 10 times 10, all right, either I can go back and I can use my whole numbers. Remember when we did whole numbers, okay? We did whole numbers in the first term and we learned how we can do them in columns, okay? And 10 times 10 is actually a really nice one, 10 times 10. Because when we're timesing by 10, what can we always do? We can just add a 0 onto the end of something. So that's a nice one, okay? If we're doing something like, I don't know, 4 times by 4, okay? 4 times 4, well, you know from when you were learning your times tables back then, 1 times by 4 is 4, 2 times by 4 is going to give you 8, 3 times by 4. So what's that? 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. And then 4 times by 4. What does 4 times by 4 mean? It actually means 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Okay. So then it's going to be equal to 16. All right. So what you need to do, Akwande, is you need to maybe go back in the recordings, and what Mr. Hugo and I will do at the end of this lesson as well, is we'll put the link, all right, for the lesson that took you all the way back to multiplication, all right? And it'll be a really good idea for you to go back and to watch that video on multiplication.
Yes, ma'am.
Does that make sense to you? Because once you get that multiplication right, then squared numbers are going to be easy, easy, easy. It'll be like, what? Square numbers? That's so easy once you get multiplication right. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. All right. Penelope, can I help you? Okay, some people are asking me if I can move my screen to the right. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to help Penelope, and then we're going to move on. Okay. All right. Penelope, can I help you? And then I'm going to move on.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Penelope. How can I help?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, ma'am, where it says 10 cubed, does it mean you're going to have to multiply the 10 times?
That's 10 times 10 times 10. So you're going to multiply it. So we're going to do the following. Okay, cool, Penelope. Let's move on so that we can do it together. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right, everybody, let's have a look. I'm sure you've done these 3 for me, and I know some people asked me to move the screen down, so some of you have moved. So let's have a look. All right. So I'm going to go with Penelope's question here. She's asking me, it says 1,000. 1,000 is the same thing as saying 10 cubed. 10 cubed is the same thing as saying 10 to the power of 3. And that means 10 times by 10 times by 10. So what did that mean? That means that we know 10 times 10 gives me 100. And so if I times 100 by another 10, what am I going to get? I'm going to get 1,000. All right. Right. Oh, the 13 one. The 13 one, that's a hectic one. So let's have a look. So 13 times 13 times 13 gives me 13 to the power of 3, which is the same thing as saying 13 cubed. And who managed to get the answer for this one? Who can put it for me in the chat? Right, what is 13 to the power of 3? 13 times 13 times 13. Who got 13 times 13 times 13? All right, I'm liking Nawazi's answer. She got it the fastest. So we got 2197. Well done. Well done, everybody. 2197. So 13 times 13 times another 13 gives you 2,197. Right, let's finish off. So 4 to the power of 3 means 4 times 4 times 4. That means 4 cubed. And 4 cubed gives me 64. Okay. 8 times 8 times 8 is the same thing as 8 to the power of 3, which is 8. Oopsie. Cubed. Okay. All right. Well done, everybody. Congratulations. Well done. We have some really, really good, smart students in our class, Mr. Hugo, today. I definitely think we have some really switched on students today. Okay. So again, I've got this table at the bottom. If you managed to get down some of the questions there, well done. If you want me to put them up at the end of the lesson, I will do. You can ask me, stay in class and ask me to put them up. I'll do that for you. I want to move down a little bit so that we can answer these questions. So another way that they can ask you cube numbers is to say, what number cubed is 125? Okay. Who can tell me in the chat what number cubed is 125? Give me the answers there in the chat, everybody. What number cubed is 125? What times what times what? Fantastic. Okay, I'm seeing lots of good answers there. Well done, everybody. It is 5. 5 cubed gives me 125. Fantastic. Everybody's really clued up today. All right. Based on our table when we were practicing before, okay, well done, everybody. I've seen lots of answers come through. Great, guys. Okay, based on our table before, what number cubed is 1000? So what number? Oh, fantastic. Good, guys. You're using that table. So all the practice that we did today. Good. 10. Great. Okay, nice. Okay. This one, I can't remember if we did this one earlier on today, but let's have a look if you've got this one. What number cubed is 512? Oh, some people are answering it before I even asked. Okay, I'm seeing it come through. Oh, I'm seeing some strange answers. So what number cubed is 512? It is definitely 8, hey? So 8. And finally, what number cubed is 216? Seeing the answers come through. I'm seeing some a little bit from the previous one, but I'm seeing them come through now. So the answer is 6. Okay, well done. Superstars, well done, everybody. Very fast today. Okay. Right, so guess what we get to have now in our lesson? I know we normally have it at the beginning, but Mr. Hugo and I decided we were going to change it up today. We were going to have a bit of a challenge. Right, so question number 1. Do not write the thing in the chat yet, because then everybody will see your answers. Okay, while you're thinking of these, I'm going to ask Lebohang's got his hand up, so I'm going to answer that question first. And then I'm going to put, whoever puts their hand up first in the chat, I will then answer your question for these challenge questions. So have a look at the questions, see if you can find the answer, and I will let you know, and then I will call on you. So I already see a hand up there. Lebohang, can I answer your question based on maths?
Ma'am, hello, ma'am.
Hello, how can I help?
Ma'am, I forgot to lower my hand. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay, Lebohang, no problem. All right, Afense, have you got your answers for me already, or have you got a maths question?
Yes, ma'am, I have my answer.
Wow, okay, Mr. Hugo, that was super fast. All right, Afense, let's hear it. Can you think of 2 numbers so that the square of the one number is equal to the cube of the other number? Let's hear it. What's your answer?
Ma'am, my answer is 100.
100, okay. So tell me how is the square of 100 equal to the cube of something else?
Ma'am, the square of 100 is 10.
Good. And the cube of 100?
Oh. So the number I say must also have a cube.
Aha. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anybody else? So I see another hand up. Lizzie, see you got your name to get changed. That's fantastic. Lizzie, how can I, have you got a question for me, maths question, or have you got the answer for me?
I have the question, ma'am.
Yes, what's up?
My question is that can I please ask how do you get the? Please, may I ask how do you get the final number? Like after I usually get everything right, and then when it comes for like my last calculations, I get the cube right, and I get the cube right and the squares. It's just the last number that I need to get. Like when I need to times everything, I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to do that.
So do you want to give me an example? That might help. Like, do you want to give me an example of a question?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Yeah.
Where it is 13 times 13 times 13. I got 13 square, 13 cube.
Yeah.
Actually, 13 to the power of 3, and then I got 13 cube. But I couldn't get the final number, which is 290, 2,107.
Okay, I get you. Okay, so the best thing to do that I can suggest is that we're going to work in columns. Are you ready? Okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready to see how we're going to do it? Okay, so here we go. Turn my pen back on because he keeps going off. I'm going to say, first of all, 13 times 13. Do you know what 13 times 13 is? Are we not sure? So if we're not sure, if we're not sure, because I also am not sure on the top of my head, okay, what would I do? I would go and I would work in columns. So I would do multiplication in columns. Do you know how to do multiplication in columns?
That's in times 13, and then I put another 13 under the 13.
Good, nice. So I would start with that, and I would do 13 times 13 first, right? And I would get the answer for that one, and then I would times that answer by one more 13, and I would try that one first. Do you want to give it a try by yourself? So, or do you want me to try it with you? Do you want to try it first by yourself, and then see if you can get it for me, and then...
Can you please show me?
Okay, I can show you. No problems. Let's have a look. Okay. No, it's fine. So we'll go 13 times 13. Let's have a look. So we start with a 3, hey? So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. Right, then we go to the 10. We're going to put a 0. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1, hey? And then we're going to add them. So we're going to get 1, 6, 9. But I know I'm not finished, because what do I need to do? I need to multiply that by another 13. So I put my line, starting with my 3. 3 times 9 is 27. So I put my 7 and I put my 2. 3 times 6 is 18, and 18 plus 2 gives me 20. Put my 0 and I put my 2. 3 times by 1 is 3, and 3 plus 2 will give me 5. Are you with me still? Are you good? You sure?
Yes.
Okay. All right, now I'm going to multiply by 10. So what must I do? I must put a 0, hey? All right. So 1 times 9 is 9. Yeah. 1 times 6 is 6. And 1 times 1 is 1. My last thing I need to do is I need to add. So 0 plus 7 is 0. 9 plus 0 is 9. 6 plus 5 is 11. So I put the 1 and I put the 1 there. And 1 plus 1 is 2. If you aren't sure about multiplication, the best thing to do, and I'm going to go and I'm going to put the code in here for you now. Let's see if it lets me do it. I don't know if it's going to let me, Mr. Hugo. I'm going to go and I'm going to put this link in the chat for you guys. All right. So unfortunately, guys, we've run out of a little bit of time here. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, put the link in the chat for you. So this is going to take you, the link that I've just put in there is the link for our YouTube videos, okay? That will take you back to all the videos that we've had before. So from all of the last term, you're going to go and find the grade 7 videos, okay? And you're going to go and you're going to practice your multiplication, you're going to practice your division, you're going to practice all of the concepts that you did last term to make sure you've got those on points, all the multiplication, all of those, all right? And then if you're still a bit confused, the best thing I can suggest as well is that when we get to the end of this lesson, which is now, you can always stay on a little bit at the end and then ask some questions as well based on the lesson. All right. Okay, so is there anybody who, sorry, Lizzie, I hope that helps, Lizzie, sorry, it's Lizzie. I hope that helps, and I hope that that link is going to help as well. Yes. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do, is there anybody who has an answer for me? Will you write your name in the chat for me for our challenge question today? Otherwise, I'm going to ask you guys on Wednesday. So I'm going to give you some time to think about it. And we're going to come back on Wednesday. Anybody who has an answer for me rather than a question? Anyone who wants to write their name in a chat and give me, okay. Lebogang, do you want to try for me, Lebogang?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. What do you think for number 1? What did you think?
25, ma'am.
25. So can you think of 2 numbers so that the square of the one number is equal to the cube of the other number? So if I square 25, that gives me 5. And what's 5 the cube of? Doesn't really work, okay? Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go away and I'm going to let you think about it, and we will do those ones again on Wednesday. Okay, so I'm going to let us end now. Mr. Hugo is going to put a poll up for you guys to answer. If you do, and I see that there's a few questions there, don't worry, I'm going to answer those questions at the end. The rest of you, thank you so much for joining us. If you're here at Watobe for the first time, I hope that you learned something, and I hope you had a really, really good lesson. For those of you who are leaving and going off on a holiday for this next week, I hope that you're joining us on Wednesday. Don't forget, we do have a lesson on Wednesday. So I will see you guys again on Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Bye, guys. Please don't forget to answer the poll. All right, we are going to start our questions with Spare, I see you signing off, but I see your hand still up. Do you not have a question?
Ms. T,
Yes, Mr. Hugo.
can I ask you to check on this on your side if your poll is preloaded? I don't have the poll preloaded on my side. Something went wrong.
Oh dear, Mr. Hugo. Let me see if I can do that.
Just see.
Polls and quizzes. I don't have it. No, it says no polls or quizzes created.
Okay. Give me a second.
Sorry, guys. I'm sure that Mr. Hugo is going to do. I'm so sorry, Mr. Hugo. I don't have anything here. Okay. Spare, can I help with anything? I'm good. Otherwise, I'm going to move on. Are you good? Can I try maybe unmute you from my side? Let's see. There we go. Spare, you unmuted. Do you have any questions? Okay, you should be unmuted. You should be able to talk.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, I was thinking if can get like a hint or something.
A hint. Okay, a hint is that the number has, well, the number that I can think of, because it's a really hard one. The first one, the number that I can think of, for the first one, it doesn't have a value. So like if someone had to give, yeah, it doesn't have a value. So take that away and think about that. It doesn't have a value. I don't know. That's a really big hint. It has no value.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. You're welcome. And then the second one, I don't know if you guys have done triangles at school, but if you look at a triangle, that might help you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
No problem. See you on Wednesday. All right. Jabulile?
Before we get to Jabalila, I just want to let you know the poll is up. Everybody,
I
please
do see
answer
it
the
there.
poll before you leave the class.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you're answering the poll. Jabulile, how can I help?
Ma'am, I don't understand number 1.
Oh dear. This one and the challenge. It's a very hard challenge. I agree with you. It's a tricky one. I set a tricky challenge this week because you know what? Everyone was getting my challenge last week. So I had set a too hard one this week, I think. All right. So think about a number. Okay. It says, can you think of 2 numbers? So there are 2 numbers for this, but so that if you square this number, it's equal to the cube of another number. All right. So can I give another hint? All right.
Ma'am, could it be 5?
What about this number? I'm going to give you one of the numbers. Now I'm going to really cheat. I'm going to give you one of the numbers because you're still here. Are you ready?
Ma'am, is it possible for it to be 5? Yes.
So let's think about it. If it's 5, 5 squared, so the square of the one number is equal to the cube of the other number. 5 squared is equal to 25. So is that equal to the cube of anything?
No, ma'am.
No. What about this number? What about this one?
This one, ma'am. I can't see.
I know
I can't see that.
my pen's gone off. There we go. What about this number? This is one of them.
Isn't it 1? Oh.
That's one of them. So I've given you one. Now you've got to go away and think of the other one for me this week. Okay. And I'll see you on Wednesday.
The 10 maybe.
Okay, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I'm gonna help the next person. All right. All
Okay,
right.
ma'am.
Hi guys. I'm glad you guys are thinking of it. I'm glad you liked the challenge this week. Good. All right. Kolofelo?
So one
Kolofelo, how can I help? You got the answer. Okay, tell me, what is it? 64. Fantastic. That is one of the answers. Fantastic. Good, nice. Because what? 64? If I square root 64, what do I get? 8. Good. And 8, and what is so and if I cube 8, what do I get? 2. Good, nice. That is one of them you can use as well. Well done. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Well done. Very good. All right. Kalalelo.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, how can I help?
Ma'am, ma'am, when we were doing like the cubes and everything like that, ma'am, when we were saying, like, ma'am, when we were saying like 2 to the power of, like 2 to the power of 3, how, I'm mostly not, I'm a little bit confused because of, do we say like, do we do like 2 times 2 times 2 like that, or in another way?
No, so 2 to the power of 3 is the same as saying 2 times 2 times 2. You are right.
Okay, ma'am. I was just confused a little bit. Thank you, ma'am.
No, you are 100% right. 2 to the power of 3. Let's go there.
Okay,
2 to the
ma'am.
power of 3 is the same thing as saying. So we were doing cubes, hey? So let's go there. There we go. So 2 to the power of 3 is the same thing as saying 2 times 2 times 2. You are 100% right.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Lebogang, how can I help?
Ma'am, can you go to the first lesson? First
Of
where?
course I can. Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Squares. There we go.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Do you want me to move down or is that okay?
It's okay, ma'am.
Okay, cool. No problem. All right. Who have I got here? Kelly. Kelly, how can I help? Kelly, are you with me? Okay, Kelly seems to have gone off. Akwanda, can I help? Akwanda, can I help?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I do not understand when you are saying power off.
Okay.
Yes.
You're not understanding what it means.
Yes, ma'am.
So all that it means when you say to the power of, it just means that it's an exponent. So like when you say 2, instead of saying 2 times by 2, we can say 2 to the power of 2. So 2 raised to the power of 2. So it's got a 2 and its exponent is 2.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Does that make sense? So there's a few different ways to say it, but one of the easiest ways to say 2 to the power of 2 or 2 squared.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, I wanted to remind you, ma'am, about the video, ma'am, about the YouTube link. You
Do you want me to
said
put the link again?
yes about the video.
Okay, I'm going to put the link in there for you again. I did put it in just now, but I'll go and I'll put the link in again for you quickly. Whoopsie daisy, my link is opening now quickly because I clicked on it. So I did put the link earlier, but I'm going to put the link again in the chat for you and you should be able to get the link. So let's do that. I'm going to do that and I'm going to send it to you guys. Okay, so you should be able to see my message. Do you see my message there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. And that should take you to the YouTube link. And remember, You're looking for all the grade 7 videos, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. All right, I will see you on Wednesday. Umpile?
Hi, ma'am, again.
Hi again.
Ma'am, I just wanted to ask, for when we say cubed, ma'am, do we like, when they had to make us write it, we have to say 2 times 2 times 2. And then when they want the answer, we should say 2 times 2 equals 4. And then we can add that 4 times another 2.
That's right. You can do it that way, yes. So one way to do it, especially if it's a big number. So doing the 2, if they want you to do 2 times 2 times or 2 cubed, that one's not too hard to learn off by heart. You know what I mean? Because if you practice it and you practice it and you practice it, that one you can learn eventually. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But when you're still learning it, yes, you can still say to yourself, 2 times 2, 4, and then 4 times 2, 8. That's fine when you're still learning it. The ones that are really tricky, the ones that you need to try remember, like the 12 times 12 to 12 to the power of 3. Those ones I agree with you. That one I want to say 12 times 12 is 144, and then times another 12. Those ones I would do I would break them up slowly, okay? But yes, there's nothing wrong with breaking it up and doing it slowly, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Don't forget to answer the poll, guys. All right, I'm seeing some more hands. I'm seeing some people. Jabulile, are you still here for the quiz? Or the challenge? Okay, I'm going to answer some more questions. I'm coming back to you. All right, so I'm seeing Maran. So I'm so sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. I'm going to try. Murandindinene. It's a very long name, so you're going to probably have to correct me.
Yes, ma'am.
How do I pronounce your name, my love? Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, tell me, what's your question? Do you have a question for me? Hello? I think maybe she's got some bad signal. Okay, Jabulile, how can I help?
Ma'am, can you please go back to the question?
The challenge again.
Yes.
Are you determined you're going to answer it tonight? You're not coming back to me on Wednesday. Okay, let's go.
Ma'am, so it says, so that the square of one number is equal to the cube of the other number. So for example, if I get the answer of a cubed number, should it be, the answer that I got, should it be the square to the two numbers?
So the answer, can you think of two numbers so that the square of one number is equal to the cube of the other number? Can you think of two numbers so that the square of one number is equal to the cube of the other number?
So ma'am, basically, if I get the answer of a cube number, it should be equal to the square of another number.
Mm-hmm. So what are your answers? Tell me, which ones have you thought of?
1.
You are amazing. Good, because we know 1 squared is 1 and 1 cubed is
1.
1. Cool.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Have you got number 2 yet?
No.
Okay.
I was
All
stuck
right.
in question number 1, but I got it. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Those are hard ones. You're probably not going to get those in the test. Hey, those are just challenges for you. Just saying. But I'm glad that you're trying them out, especially on your holiday. So well done. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Go have a break now. All right. Lesto, you're also going to have to help me with your name. Okay, how do I pronounce your name?
Ma'am, it's Lerato.
Lerato. Okay, it's just not pronounced. Is it just not spelled right? Okay, help me out. What's your question?
Ma'am, my question is, can I answer you the both questions on Wednesday?
Of course you can.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, I want you guys to come back on Wednesday and answer them on Wednesday. I will see you on Wednesday. All right, Lebogang.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
but the answer for the challenge that I thought would be correct. What about 8, ma'am?
You got 8.
Yes.
Good. So 8 squared is, I like it. Good. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well done. Well done. You're amazing. Well done. Keep that answer so you can say it on Wednesday again. Okay. I'm answering 2 more questions, and then unfortunately, Mr. Hugo and I have to go to another lesson. So, Otleliche? How can I help? Okay. Luniko?
Ma'am?
Yes, how can I help?
Can I answer the question for the challenge?
Can you maybe keep them for Wednesday and tell me the answers on Wednesday, or do you want to try?
I might do it on Wednesday, ma'am, if you can. If I
Okay,
can.
we'll try now. Let's hear them. I just don't want you to give your answers away, then everybody will hear them. That's all.
Ma'am,
Okay.
is it 9? Can it be 9?
Let's see. So that 9 squared gives me, what's 9 squared? My brain is not working now. I'm so tired. 9 squared is 81. Is the cube of another of the other number. What's going to be your other number then? I can't be 9, unfortunately. No. Sorry.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Luniko, I'm going to answer you. Oh, that was Luniko. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget to answer your poll.